So we're on site here at Reebok CrossFit Glasgow, and today we're going to look at foam rolling the quads, one of the most commonly used exercises in rehab and performance enhancement, and it's quite often used to alleviate pain at the knee via releasing the outside of the thigh. What we'll be focusing on today is the lateral quads, so the vastus lateralis and the lateral hamstrings, which together, if tight, pull the IT band very tight across the side of the thigh, and people will often get that feeling of tightness down the outside of it. So one thing that we will use is the foam roller, and we'll give you another option with this, which is the quad baller. However, you could just use a rolling pin or something like that at home. Okay, so I'm going to use Danny here first of all to show you how to foam roll the outsides of the thighs. I'd recommend, if you do sport that involves a lot of squatting and crouching down, where you're going to be using the quad muscles a lot, that you should probably be getting into the habit of doing this 2 to 3 times a week for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. So if we say take Danny's left thigh, he's going to lie down on the roller with it just below his hip, and he's going to put his left elbow onto the floor. Now from there, he's going to lift his left foot up and brace the right foot in behind his left ankle, with both off the floor, bending his left knee by about 30 degrees, gently activating the hamstring. This is important because activating the hamstring will release the quad. He's now going to roll slightly forwards, so that he's rolling the outside of the thigh rather into the quad portion rather than just on the IT band. From there, using his upper body to move him back and forth, he's going to spend 3 to 5 minutes rolling the outside of that thigh, gradually working down towards the knee as he goes. If he finds an area that's particularly bad, he can stop on it and he can roll forwards and backwards on that, or back and forth, so side to side, just really kneading out any knots that he has there. Also, as you can see he's bending the knee back and forth, so sort of tacking down the tissue and using the levers at the knee to stretch that tissue out. If this is too much for you initially, which it probably will be for most of you, you can take that right knee forwards and set it down on the roller with both feet off the floor, and that just takes a little bit of the weight off the leg, so that might be a bit more manageable for him initially. An alternative is to do a little bit of myofascial release with a partner. Okay, so if he comes off the roller, what he can do, this is very painful, I might add, so be careful with it. It might not need any pressure from myself initially, but if you get something that's fairly hard and cylindrical, you can lie down on the side of your quad, potentially dividing it up into thirds, where you'll do 1 point at the bottom third, 1 in the middle third, and 1 in the upper third. So if Danny rolls onto his right side and takes the weight down on top of that quad baller, now where possible he's going to try and drop his weight down to the floor, allowing this leg to come up. Now from there, he can just bend and straighten that knee back towards the hip and fully straight. It's important to get it fully straight in this instance. For a more aggressive approach, your buddy, who might not be your buddy for too much longer, can add a little bit of pressure to that and start to straighten it and bend it. Okay. After Danny's done, say, 10 leg movements there, you can maneuver him along until it's about the middle of his thigh. From there again, you can add that pressure and just bend and straighten. So there's 2 super effective ways of mobilizing the outside of your thigh. So we've now dealt with the quads component of IT band tightness, so we're going to look at the hamstrings. So again, we'll use the same pieces of kit. If we get Danny to use the foam roller, you can see clearly how you can actually do the exact same sort of mobility exercise with your hamstrings. So he's going to go up onto his right hamstring. Yeah, so he takes it. He's going to have to take his weight on his arms here. So if you're not able to do this, this mightn't be the most applicable exercise for you. He's then going to take his other leg and place it in front of his ankle, activating the quad on the hamstring, the quad on the leg that he's going to release. So using his arms and hips, he's going to push back and forth, just releasing down the side of that sort of outer hamstring, just where it comes into the IT band. It's important when releasing the IT band to actually release both quads and hamstrings. Hamstrings are often neglected in this instance. So once Danny's done 2 to 3 minutes of that, that's fine. We'll give you another option here where you can do, similar to the last exercise, a little bit of tack and release. So if Danny comes off the foam roller and grabs the quad baller, again, you can be using a rolling pin or even a lacrosse ball. For this, he's going to take his weight on the outside of the hamstring and pin it down on the quad baller and use his quads to push back and forth. So you can see by his face it's not the most comfortable either. Again, similar to the quads, you probably do about 10 leg movements, full range, on 2 to 3 locations on the outside of that thigh.